That
Hey,
freaked me
by the
out for a
way,
hot second.
we're live on our end now. I didn't know that he was live, but we're live now, so keep it
There you
We're
rolling.
go.
Keep it
now.
rolling.
There you go. There you go.
We're
Okay.
live now. Go ahead.
Awesome.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to sit here and eat.
Yeah, no, I was just talking to my my stream and my community earlier that it's been such a blessing to get a part of this community and just to kind of grow with you guys and watching certain people grow into the roles that they're in right now. I guess I got here in February, March sometime. I met Howie brought me in, and I brought Kat, and then Gamer Girl, and now seeing Kat as a moderator, and then Gamer as a editor and things like that. It's just been such an amazing blessing and an opportunity to get involved and to see you guys and to meet you guys and just to be here where I'm at. And I'm really excited to share my knowledge and everything. And my goal is to make sure that if anybody needs help with whatever journey that we're going through, hey, we're in this together and everything. So it's like I said, it's a really cool feeling to do something like this and to be a part of this community. And I'm so thankful for meeting Big J and everybody. So like I said, I'm excited. I'm very excited. And hell, Big J's already been over to my house, man. He's already seen the crib. He's already seen all the stuff on the walls and everything. And so, I mean, I mean, for those who don't know, I'm the guy that says my name is Big J's neighbor on Discord. That's me. Because some people don't know I'm H. Everybody calls me, like, some people have called me Big. Who's Big J's neighbor? Me,
Mm-hmm.
me. So, but yep, no, that's what I'm excited about, man. There's a lot of cool things in the works for the Tulip community, and I'm just very excited to be a part of it. So,
Well, I thought that was interesting that you just said, you want to help out on people's journeys. I'm assuming you're not just talking about like a physical transformation, right?
no,
Because
no,
we're
no,
talking about health and fitness. We're talking
right.
about like in the big scheme of things, right?
Absolutely. And so a little bit about my background. Uh, I played football and baseball in college. I always wanted to be a coach. I always thought I was going to be a personal trainer. I always thought I was going to do, X, Y, and Z, the whole athletic side of things. And then, some of the most influential people in my life were coaches, baseball coaches, football coaches. I played every sport in high school. And then when I got to college, I focused in on baseball and football and excelled in the football side. Baseball, I got hurt. And so it was one of those things that getting hurt, it it's one of those things you always want to walk away from something on your own time, but when it's pulled away from you or taken away, then it kind of leaves a different taste in your mouth. You know what I mean? And so I played baseball my entire life. I grew up going to the Astrodome, playing. I played at Enron Field at the time when it was called Enron Field, which is now Minute Maid Park, where the Houston Astros play. So I had a lot of opportunities in my life to be around sports and to be around good people and things of that nature. And then when I got to college, I was like, you know what? I want to do this for the rest of my life. I want to coach. I want to help people out on the athletic side of things, as well as on the mental side of things, as well as on the health side of things. And I think that's a lot of people want to do better and become better people, but they don't know how. You know what I mean? So I think if I can share my knowledge and open up my doors, because as a coach, I've been coaching college for 10 years, and that's my profession. I'm a college coach. I've coached college softball and college baseball and college football. And so, but being an athlete means more than just being physically able to do things. It's being a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's the cool thing about this community is people aren't afraid to be themselves. And that's a huge step forward. And now now that we all know each other and we're all a big community, now it kind of makes it easier for people to say, "Hey, I need some help." You know what I mean? Because as athletes, I mean, nowadays athletes, some of the biggest awareness has come from the athletic world. Athletes committing suicide or scary things. You know, and I think we as coaches and players need to advocate for those who don't feel like they have a voice. And honestly, I think a lot of it comes from having good health and a good environment, obviously too. So
Yeah, and I like where you're going with that because yeah, I definitely think the mind body health connection
right.
shouldn't be overlooked. Like I think there's a lot to be said about acknowledging that relationship
Hmm.
and making sure that everybody's cognizant of it, right? That you've got that awareness and what it looks like and what it means and how it ties and tethers together. I
Right.
don't think that there's enough conversation about that. Even though we do the mental health podcast, we don't always
Right.
focus on the physicality of it.
Of course.
But,
Right.
we did in the beginning, we did a whole session of it. And, I think, again, it deserves more conversation. So I would absolutely love to do something with you on the mental health front and
Of
how
course.
that
Yeah.
ties together. I think that would be great
That
if
would be
you're
amazing.
willing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, so a little bit more in depth. My master's degree is in health and human performance, which is essentially the motor mechanics of the human body. So if an athlete wants to get faster, stronger, bigger, and everything, cool, that's right up my alley. But I also have a specialization in nutrition as well too. So not just making them bigger and stronger, but providing the nutrients and essentially the gas to make the motor go
Right.
is what I'm very proud of and everything. So, but understanding, if you're not motivated to go to the gym and eat right, then everything you do is essentially for a loss. And so understanding, regardless of what the athlete looks like, regardless of what the nutrition looks like, it's more so the mental side of things. Like, you have to mentally want to go work out. You have to mentally want to eat correctly. And you have to mentally want to do it day in and day out and over 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 and over. And then you can have a cheat day, and then you have to do it all over again, kind of thing. But in our world, we call it moderation. That's what it's called.
Yeah, I love that. I absolutely love it. I've recently gotten into this mindset of just I need to do better for myself on a physical level. We've been talking about mental health for months now,
Right.
and the stress from my day job and just some of the activities that I get involved with the community were really starting to kind of take a toll.
Of course.
So I needed to kind of get next level with it, and I've been just kind of feeling heavy from all the COVID weight I put on. So I was like, all right, enough's enough. We need to stop jerking around with this, stop making excuses, and just really make it a priority in my life.
Right.
And even
right.
though I'm squeezing it in here and there, like the weight's coming off, I feel better. I feel more resilient for stress. I mean, I still have my moments, but you're going to have that in the big leagues.
Right.
But I feel like, again, my recovery is faster.
That's good. Yeah.
It's not taking me as long to get over things. Plus, being inside of Too Lit and having that support system and having built up the trust that I've had over the last couple months too, has also helped me kind of open up, especially with Jay and the admin staff and the moderator teams, to kind of have that back and forth dialogue when I need to.
Yes.
I mean, it's not always easy to open up, but sometimes they recognize it before I do, and they'll be like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I'll be like, "Oh shit, I'm not covering myself up. They got me. Now I have to talk about it." And then
no, we understand, but I firmly believe, again, with the community that we're in, that I think people aren't afraid to ask for help, kind of thing, and that there's plenty of avenues in this community for people to negotiate, navigate their way through. And essentially, you talk about how some people are scared to talk about how they really feel. And at the end of the day, I think it's really cool that we are all willing to help each other. Because I mean, I tell my athletes this all the time. And I believed it whenever I was an athlete. The worst feeling in the world is being in a room full of people and still feeling alone. I don't care what anybody says. You can be surrounded by people and feel like you're the only person in the world. And that right there can hinder your athletic performance, your mental performance, and your nutrition performance. And so I think with this community that has been developed over the last few months, even since I've just joined, seeing all the beautiful things of people wanting to help each other out, I think that's a huge step in this community. So
I definitely agree.
So we talk about, COVID for a lot of people there's either two types of people that experience COVID. People that wanted to get exercise and get fit, and that's what they did, is they got shredded, or they didn't. And yep, I can kind of get there too. I got into a stage of depression myself. Oh, H-Town, that guy, he didn't do much. I mean, I was streaming, but I wasn't like enjoying it. I wasn't happy being inside all the time. I was eating. I wasn't going working out and walking like I thought I could. And I was a coach at the time, or a coach whenever our school shut down, but I had access to it, but I didn't take advantage of it because I got complacent with where I was at. And I gained excess weight. I mean, at one point in time when I was in college, I was, buck 75 playing two sports, and then this last November, I tore my Achilles at I was like weighing 210, but I was a happy 210. I was eating okay. I wasn't eating great. I was living in a dorm, as most of you guys know. I was streaming from a dorm room and things like that in the semester ago. I tore my Achilles and then I blew up to like 250. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, like when I was in high school, I weighed 220, but I was solid, high school, whatever. Got up to 250 this last Christmas time, and I was miserable. Hated my life. Hated it. I was 2XL, 3XL shirts, and now that I'm up and moving, I'm back down. I'm down to like 226. So I've lost almost 25 pounds this year alone. And then, me and Mrs. H getting married, and then like all the other stress eating that we're dealing with right now. So we're fluctuating, but that's where the moderation comes in. So I think with the Too Lit, Too Fit community, and what I'd like to develop for it is helping people with the nutrition side of things. Because I think a lot of people want to eat right. They just don't know how, as well as some people think it's expensive to eat healthy when really it's not as expensive, or it's actually cheaper than what some people might think. You know what I mean? So I guess that we can kind of lead that into the next topic if that's what you guys kind of want to do. I mean, like I said, it's your podcast. I'm just happy to be here kind of thing. But let me ask you guys this, like when you think of health, like nutrition wise, what are some of the things you need to consume in your life to be healthy? Water. Okay. Perfect. What else?
So one of the things I've always been told is eat a colorful diet. So again, that means a lot of fruits, vegetables, and then a good blend of, just, I guess it's not a lot of carbs. It's like watching your meats, but trying to go like more fish and chicken than beef, because the way your body processes beef isn't as efficient as say the chicken or the fish. So that's really like squaring up pretty much the extent of my knowledge. Staying away from dairy at my age is also key. Depressing, but yeah.
Oh, there we go. That's a lot. Oh, that's a little close. I fixed it. Sorry, camera. Yeah, no, it's one of those things that, there's a lot of, I don't want to say, what's the word? Myths out there and everything. So Big J mentioned water. That will forever and always be the number one nutrient factor that you can do in your entire life. And here's my tip for people out there who don't know about the water aspect is, and this is for not just athletes, but for people in general, is whatever your body weight is, you cut that in half and you turn it into ounces. So if you're a 180-pound male, you need to accumulate about 90 ounces of water a day. Again, that's for somebody who's active, who's working, who's up and moving around, and then, you talk about your consumptions of vegetables and fruits. Vegetables are a little bit easier. Fruits typically are 70 to 80% water. So there's your sense of H2O as well. But vegetables, and here's what I was taught, and here's stuck with me forever: the greener, the leaner. So the more green in your digestive and everything in your system, it's actually going to have better fiber intake. And so if you can get your fiber and your digestive system on track, guess what? Your nutrition is going to be top notch. For those who don't have a very good, digestive system, that's kind of the bad end. So a lot of water and a lot of vegetables, but a lot of green and a lot of clear liquids kind of thing. So that's the easy tip for a lot of people to kind of start on that one. And we like to talk about, like, what about lettuce? How many of you guys, do you guys like lettuce? So what kind of lettuce? You know what I mean? What kind of lettuce do you guys partake in? Any idea?
Obviously, I love, just that iceberg lettuce. It's my
Iceberg is
favorite.
good.
But I know from everything that I've read, the best is the dark leafy greens. So when I
Right.
make a salad, I try and do like a spring mix of dark leafy greens and then
Mhm.
pair it with um, a base of the iceberg lettuce, just because I love it so much. Like literally, I could just eat lettuce and tomatoes
Right.
and cucumbers all day long.
Mm-hmm.
But I know the leafy greens is where it's at.
Absolutely. And my favorite one, and this is the most cost efficient one, is called spinach leaves.
Oh yeah.
Now, when I was a kid, like you heard spinach, and I thought about gagging every time somebody said spinach. Right? You're like spinach, collard greens, all that stuff. You're just right. But
Nay, nay.
spinach, yeah, right. But spinach is one of those, again, leafy greens that have excellent source of fiber. They help with the digestive. It's one of those things you can add quickly onto your sandwich, your spinach wraps, your things like that, or whatever wrap that you want to have. Staying away from the the tortillas of the corn flour mix, and more so in the spinach world, or even a whole wheat wrap. The little adjustments that you make in your diet essentially are the key nutrients that you need to living a better and healthier. And it's actually, some of these options are significantly cheaper as well too. So I think a lot of people seeing that factor and that aspect of it when they look at, well, what about rice? I mean, what do you guys think about rice? What's y'all's take on rice?
I mean, I would eat it. And in terms of like, I'd prefer it over, say, like noodles.
Fair enough. Fair
Um,
enough. Uh-huh.
if I had to choose, I don't hate it, but I know the long grain wild rice is better for you, but I'm really not a fan. So it's a mixed bag. I don't hate it.
So they talk about, in your diet, starches, meats, fibers, vegetables, lettuce, water, things. Have you seen that nutrient pyramid
Yeah.
before? You seen that? So, typically the base layer is your foundation, and then for those who haven't seen it, you can Google search it, or I don't know if there's a way to pull up that in
Let's
our
see.
in the actual stream here. But I
Let's
can
see.
talk, if we can pull it up. I can definitely talk on that, because
Let me see.
sorry, Mama Toast, no Popeyes. I love Popeyes, but
Let's see
no
here.
no fried chicken sandwiches. What do you think about
Mm,
baby spinach salad with grilled chicken and oil and vinegar with tomato? I mean, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um,
mm.
so 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 we can kind of talk on protein to see, just until Shiny can see if she can pull up the picture. But your source of protein, so a meat essentially, if we want to talk about chicken or steak or any sort of beef, the best way to look, oh, perfect. The best way to kind of find what fits your status in the sense of what to eat is, if you make a fist, that's the size of meat portion that you need to be eating in your diet per day. So about that size, about that, I don't, maybe a little bit less than that. Some of us have bigger fists, but the size of your fist in circumference is essentially what you want to be partaking in on this. So this food pyramid here, I don't, people on my stream can see it, but obviously we'll start at the top here. You avoid the sugary stuff, but I don't care what anybody says. You have to have some sort of moderation. Eat the cookie whenever you want the cookie. It's okay to eat the cookie.
Give
I
me that
promise you.
cookie.
I promise you, it's okay to eat the cookie. It's okay to have a slice of cake. Me and Mrs. H Town, at one point in our life, I'm pretty sure we could keep Bluebell ice cream in business by ourselves. I'm not gonna lie. Um, you know, Organic red wine, things like that. Here's the thing about liquids. You want to avoid drinking your calories. If you can avoid if you can avoid drinking the Powerades, the Cokes, the Sprites, you look on some of those nutrient labels. Shiny, what's the nutrient value on that? Well,
Let's
what are
see.
you drinking? Show everybody what you're drinking.
It is Seagram's ginger ale.
Ginger. Okay, it's not too bad, but what's the caloric intake on that?
Let's see. Serving size is 1 can, 130 calories.
130 calories.
That's what
130
it says.
calories. So
12% carbs, or 12 something carbs. 12 grams of carbs. Yee.
same thing. You don't really want to drink your carbs. Even a fruit smoothie can be high in sugar, as well as starches that you don't like. So some of those fruit smoothies, if you buy them from the store, it's pure sugar in those. Now, if you want to make your own, non-fat yogurt or Greek yogurt, then yeah, by all means. But you got to be careful with the yogurt because that yogurt can sneak up on you. Like, so when you look at it, you see the dairy up at the top as well too of that pyramid. You don't want to put too much yogurt in there because guess what? That's that too much of that dairy product that your body doesn't always get a chance to take and digest. Because dairy takes a little bit longer to digest than some of these other sugars. So it's called simple sugars. Vitamins and vegetables. Your vitamins that you get from vegetables are called simple sugars, and your body digest those significantly faster than the fake sugars. So your Splenda, your pure sugar cane, things of that nature. So if you can avoid those in your daily life and your nutrient value, I promise you'll be in better shape. Caffeine. So Mama Toast says, I'm trying to quit soda, but caffeine is what helps my migraines. Got any suggestions? Diet Mountain Dew. We use Diet Mountain Dew at the level of teaching as a. So we have kids that have ADHD, and instead of like pumping them full of medicine, we give them Diet Mountain Dew, and it calms them down and it compresses the headache. So try some Diet Mountain Dew and see if that works for you.
Wow. I don't think I'd ever in my life would have
I'm
imagined
blown.
anybody saying Diet
Diet
Mountain Dew.
And I picked that up from from a teacher. So again, us teachers got to stick together. Anytime that you can tell a kid to calm down and just give them a Diet Mountain Dew, $1.25 for a drink compared to pumping that kid full of medicine where they're zombied out. You know what I mean? That would be a better.
That's a win.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, we look at it. So the healthy nuts, fish,
ADHD,
protein,
right
same thing. Size of your fish, you should be good to go. Whole grains, so your peas and some of your pastas, you not too bad. But I love whole grain bread. I stay away from the honey wheat. I stay away from the white bread. Essentially, if you take a slice of white bread, you might as well just get a whole spoonful of sugar and put it in your mouth. So yeah, that's essentially what that white bread is. It's just a good old sugar spoonful. And then your fruits and vegetables at the bottom, they digest a lot easier. There's always those fake sugar packets and everything. I'm not a big fan of all of that stuff. I know some people have to have that sugary intake. I know Mrs. H Town, we go to Dunkin' and I take a drink of her coffee. Guess what? I can hear the crystallized sugars crunch in my teeth every time I take a sip of it. I can't do it. I don't know how she does it, but I take a sip and just like my teeth are grinding for how much sugar's in those things. So I know so Mama says, that's why I don't drink diet soda. Diet soda is one of those, either way, you kind of want to stay from any soda. But I guess if you're going to pick a soda, pick one less in sugar and pick one less in added sugar. So, I mean, good luck on that one. I normally drink Sprite if I do have to drink a soda. But that's just for the carbonation. Helps pop the ears and everything. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So this food pyramid is a beautiful thing, but just know in moderation, your body's built off of a foundation. So you want to work your way from the bottom all the way up to the top. So
now, is it true that you want to eat more of what's on the bottom than what's on the top?
Oh, 1,000,000%. You don't want to build your foundation off of cookies and gingerbread. I mean, you could, but it might not. You might be a little top heavy compared to bottom heavy.
I already feel top heavy, but that's another conversation. And that's all. I think that's all, like you said, like trying to get discipline back in there, like to stay away from the dairy, stay away from the sodas, stay away from the sugar.
Right.
Like you're not doing yourself any favors.
So, and then I think a lot of misconception is people think eating healthy is expensive. So with that being said, let's look at this then. I mean, if you go to Wendy's and get a salad, how much do you think that salad's going to run you? Any idea?
Considering it's from Wendy's, more than I should have to pay for a salad.
Close to about $10.
About $10, right?
Wow.
Okay, so let's think about it this way then as well. How much are French fries?
Like
If you
maybe
get
like $3-4.
if you get a large or large French fry, you probably about $3 or $4, right?
Wow.
How much is the hamburger that you're getting? It's always a double meat with cheese and bacon. Let's be real.
About $6-7.
All right, so there's $10 right there. How much you getting? How much is your large drink gonna run you?
Maybe $2 to $3.
So you've already spent we'll say $14 with tax, 14, $15 with tax. That salad that's at $10 don't sound too bad, right? Compared to price. Now let's think of it this way. When you think of a salad, you think of about what, little bunny rabbit eating leafy greens, something that's frail and fragile and things like that, right? Well, so here's the thing. There's going to be more nutrient value in that salad than any bite of that hamburger, any bite of those French fries or onion rings or any drink of that Coke that you have, right? Because every time, and here's the thing, when you go to the grocery store, they have those pre-made salads, right? You seen those? How much do
Yeah.
those run you? Eight or
Those are
nine,
about
eight or nine
$8 or $9.
bucks. They're
Yeah.
still about $8 or $9. So yeah, it's more expensive when you buy it that's already pre-made. Same thing with a hamburger. When you go buy frozen meat at the grocery store, say you buy what 5 pounds of, we'll say let's go. We'll say 15 pounds of chicken breast. How many chicken breasts do you think you're probably going to end up getting in that little pack? How many think? Probably about 5 flanks, right? Five chicken breasts for about $15.
Yeah.
It's about right. Normal, pretty
Roughly.
normal.
Yeah.
You know, and so, but here's the thing. If you go get a chicken sandwich from Whataburger or whatever, how much is that chicken sandwich going to run you? $7-8.
Yes.
So you only eat 2 chicken sandwiches for the price of 5 chicken sandwiches, or you can only eat X amount of salad. But here's the thing: when you buy spinach, and you can buy, I think it's 9-ounce box of spinach for $3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That box of spinach has 3 servings, 3 to 4 servings per box. So you're actually spending 50 cents per meal compared to $8. What's already made. You know why bread costs more sliced than it is not sliced? Anybody know? Anybody know? Anybody want to know?
Not a clue.
Not, because it's called a convenient fee.
That makes sense.
Somebody, if you go buy bread in the grocery store and it's not sliced, it's going to be significantly cheaper than sliced bread. I don't know if you guys know that, but you're going to save anywhere from 25 to 30 cents. Now we're talking nickels and dimes, but ultimately
Okay,
you're
yeah,
talking
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
you're talking dollars now, because here's the thing. If you go to Subway, how much are you going to spend on a Subway sandwich? $10,
At least, yeah.
right? Because you're going to get chips. You're going to get Coke. That
Maybe even a cookie.
That cookie's only 25 cents more, 50
I'm just
cents
being
more,
honest.
right? Right. Now,
Maybe a brownie.
if you go to H-E-B or Kroger or whatever your Piggly Wiggly is, you go buy those same pieces of bread. A lot of those pieces of bread, there's 5 to a package. That whole package is going to run you $3 to $4. There's money to be saved when you do stuff at home. And so that's what that again, I hate people that talk about eating healthy is expensive. No. Conveniently eating healthy is expensive. You can go to the grocery store and buy sliced pineapple, right? In the cup.
Mm-hmm.
How much is that cup of pineapples is going to run you $5 because somebody else cut it. Well, guess what? People are going to make their money. But if you go buy a whole pineapple, that's worth 4 cups and it's half the price. Pineapples at H-E-B right now are selling for $1.99. They're about 4 pounds. 4 pounds of pineapples for $2. It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing, And so whenever you're eating, when you're choosing what to eat, that's the main part. Because again, yes, if you go to a fast food restaurant and you get a salad, it's $10. But if you go to a fast food restaurant and get a hamburger, French fries, and a Coke, you've already spent $15, and you're going to eat triple the amount of calories, triple the amount of sodium. Sodium is another scary thing that can sneak up on you. And on that ginger ale, how much sodium is in that? All right, before you answer, if you drink something with more than 400 to 500 milligrams of sodium, it's a bad deal. How much sodium's in that thing?
Sodium, 40 milligrams.
Perfect. Perfect. Sodium is what retains in your body. So it's like salt almost. So if you look at a sports drink, you look at a Gatorade, those things are high in sodium because it wants those quote unquote electrolytes. But you look at sugars and added sugars on that aspect. So that nutrient label, can we pull up just a regular nutrition label for a Gatorade or anything like that? You think we could do that?
I can certainly make the effort.
Please, if possible,
Let's
if
see.
possible.
I have a cat body in my way that's blocking me from accessing my keyboard.
That's your
All right.
your executive producer.
Clearly, nutrition label for Gatorade.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, hold on. Do. And let me just get it up on the stream. Hold on, get that.
Yeah.
Where am I? I need to be here. Stop streaming this. I'll get the new share, screen share, Chrome tab. Here we go.
Man. Perfect. All right. So now when we think of Gatorades, growing up in the 90s and the 2000s, you see those Gatorade commercials, and do you remember what the Gatorade commercials used to be? Y'all remember? The athlete
yes, sweaty athlete, how to replenish electrolytes, that whole.
Right, and their sweat was the same color as the Gatorade. Like they were sweating. They were sweating orange Gatorade or red Gatorade, purple, blue, or whatever, right? And so when you look at something like this, you see calories, 130 calories for one serving size. One serving
same
size
as my ginger ale.
Is how many ounces are in your ginger ale? How many ounces is that ginger ale? About 12 ounces?
Yes, 12 fluid ounces.
So you're actually getting per calorie more, or per ounce, you're getting more calories in per ounce than you would be drinking a Gatorade. So you're actually there's your L
less fluid
for the day. There's your L for the day. So you can drink more Gatorade and get less calories compared to drinking more ginger ale and going from there. Per calorie, on the calorie sense, just the calorie sense.
Because it's the sodium that's, for me, I can't.
Right. And so when you look at the nutrients label here, you see carbohydrates. Your body runs on carbs. Carbs are your energy source, right? But do we want to drink our carbs? Not so much. You want your carbs to be your starches, your fruits, your vegetables, your proteins. Never do you want your carbs to come from sugar. Sugar carbs are bad carbs. So if you can eat your raw carbs, again, your chicken, your beef, your starch, your pasta, things of that nature, you're in good shape. Now, here's what I want everybody to see here is you look at total sugars, 32 grams. That's crazy. It's scary. I quit drinking Powerades and Gatorades because of that. Now you got 32 grams, and then you add another 32 grams. So those are your added sugars, your artificial flavors, and things of that nature to that. That's what gives it that fruit flavor, that berry blast flavor, if that makes any sense. And then my favorite thing is, protein. There is none. Nope. There is none on that. The potassium is not a bad thing. You need potassium to kind of help your muscles, retain their strength and everything of that nature. But this is your quote unquote sports drink that everybody's drinking. It's 60 plus, grams of sugar and 30 plus grams of carbs, So when we talk about being, too lit, too fit, this is probably one of the worst mindsets to have, is having a sports drink with you when you're lifting and when you're trying to work out, because you think a sports drink, it provides nutrients for your body. It allows you to rehydrate, when really you're putting sugars in your body for a flavor, and it's actually doing more harm than good. But they add up so quickly because, let's be real. You're going to go to a gas station. Are you going to buy the small Gatorade, or are you going to buy the big Gatorade? You buy the big Gatorade because, and those are 32 ounces. And so essentially you're drinking double the size of what you see here. You know what I mean? I don't know very many people that buy the small Gatorades and Powerades anymore. Everybody always buys the half-gallon size. Is what it looks like all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. That's me. I do that, but I generally don't drink it all in one sitting. I'll split it in half.
Absolutely. And so the way around a sports drink is to buy the alternative. We talk about, eating and drinking and balling on a budget essentially. Well, there's still sports drinks out there that do the same thing, but guess what? There's no calories. Guess what? There's zero to none or little to none sugars added to it. So I don't know if you can go back up there and go and type in Powerade Zero. I don't know if you can do that, Shiny. If that's possible.
Let's see. You want to see which one?
So just a Powerade Zero.
Let's see. Nutrition label.
What do I think about muscle milk? Muscle milk is one of those things. I see a lot of people drinking it. It does help replenish some stuff, but like chocolate milk does the same thing as muscle milk, and it's half the cost.
There we go.
I mean, you can get a true mood chocolate milk, and it does the exact same thing as a muscle milk, and it's a third of the cost. Same. I mean, it does the exact same thing. So,
hold on. Let's see if I can get the label here. All right, it's a little hard to see.
Okay.
Can't stay there. One moment, please. Gotta stop sharing. Reshare. Find the right tab. I think this is it. Yeah. All right. So this might be a little hard to see.
Nope. Perfect. All right. So same drink. Just 0 calories, 0 added sugars, 0 total sugars. Sodium is not as high. Protein is still 0, which is fine. But I mean, the big thing is, so you look at, it says, so under nutrient facts, it says about 2.5 servings per container. So here's the thing. Now you're getting double, almost 3 times the serving size, and you're not getting any calorie intake. You're not getting any sugar intake. And then you're also getting less than 1 gram of carb per serving. So now it's the same drink, just with all of that. And it's the same price and everything. So there's no sense of, and this is just my opinion, take it if you want it, but the nutrient side of things does not have to be more expensive. It's the same product, the same price, just a different result on the back end of it. This same Powerade costs the same as the 8-pack of Powerade or 10-pack, whatever it's sold as now. And it's still $4.88 for an 8-pack. And now it might taste a little bit different, but in the long run, you drink 10 pack of Powerade at 130 calories. I mean, you're talking 1,000 calories. That's a meal just in fluids alone. Now you can drink 2 or 3 of these and not get any caloric intake, but you're still rehydrating yourself, and you're still getting some sort of potassium involved. You're still getting, and the sodium intake. That sodium intake has been cut in half as well too. So again, it's not so much that what you want to eat and drink to be healthy. It's just your choices that you're making in this mindset. Because again, I think a lot of people have a misconception of, if I want to be healthy, I have to pay more money, if that makes sense at all. And you don't have to do that. You absolutely don't have to do that. They're the same flavors. They just say Powerade Zero compared to Powerade or Gatorade Zero, whatever your choice of liquid is. So that's a cool setting that I think people need to start looking at a little bit more, is the nutrient facts on the back, but it also says per serving, not just full container. So again, 2.5 servings, you see everything there, you times it by 2.5. So, but obviously 0 times any number is 0. And so regardless of how much you drink, you're going to get 0 sugars, you're going to get 0 calories, but you're going to fill yourself full of more so water. So that's the liquid side of the nutrient value in everything. And so if that helps anybody, I've done my job today and if I helped one person understand the nutrient side of liquid drinks, perfect. And so, ta-da. So I know. Be here all week.
No, I love that. I mean, you make it so simple, the breakdown, and how, when you really think about the stuff that you're putting into your body, how much easier it is to do better. But like Nico said, also you have the time constraint, right? So I
Right.
mean,
So, the whole thing
you
is,
gotta find that balance and
how
finding out what.
yeah, how can I eat healthy but still have enough time to make these healthy meals or make these healthy choices? And it comes down to, again, the mental side of things, to where what does your lunch look like? Do you take your lunch to work, or do you have to go somewhere to get lunch every single day, kind of thing? For some people, they don't have the capability to cook something and pre-cook 8 meals for the week or 6 meals. I'm not saying to do that. I don't even do that. I don't want to cook chicken 7 days in advance. I think that's chaotic. I mean, those are people who go to the weight room 3 or 4 times a day, and they live there, and that's their profession. I'm talking on the half of me and you, normal people who have jobs, who have to wake up 7 o'clock in the morning, get the kids ready to go to school, out the door by 8:30, work at 9, home by 6, have to have dinner ready to go, you know, go to take a shower and be in bed before 10 o'clock. And guess what? We got to do it all over again tomorrow. That's who I'm trying to communicate to. That's who I'm trying to reach, because that's this community. This community is normal people, general people who just want to help, who want help making better choices in their daily lives. And that's what these it's what you pick up off the shelf. It's not so much what you put in your body. You're
Yeah.
still going to eat. You're still going to eat whatever you want to eat. But if instead of picking up the Gatorade that's going to cost the same as the 0-calorie Gatorade, there's your healthy choice for the day. Instead of getting iceberg lettuce, get the spinach lettuce instead. Instead of getting the hamburgers, get the chicken. Chicken is significantly cheaper than most ground beef right now. I mean, chicken. I mean, there's what I think I saw something that was like 3.8 million chickens in the United States alone, or something like that get processed every month, or something like that. It's some outrageous number. I can't remember off the rip, but I saw something like chickens are one of the most produced meat in our nation's, like, at the pace of what we're going, it's outrageous. And so, because land the way the land cost, and the cost per cattle, and the cost of transportation, it's significantly easier to transport chickens and smaller products than it is to transport larger beef products in this industry. And especially here in Texas, what do you think our number one source is through meat industry? It's our beef industry. Heck, there's a place in Texas called Cowtown. It's called Fort Worth, Texas, for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So understanding the difference between what you're paying for versus what you're really paying for. You're not paying for the beef. You're paying for the transportation, the production line, everything that you're working into. So, if you can put away the Tostino's pizza rolls,
No.
and
I mean,
not get,
okay.
instead of, I know Big J's over here like, damn, man. There's
I'm
now
with you, Jay.
you could still, now hold up, now there is
Little
Tostino's
Hot
pizza rolls,
Pockets.
but they're better food options. Instead
Yeah.
of getting the pizza Hot Pockets, there's the cheddar broccoli. There's there's the lean pockets. It's the same. They're all the same price, almost
Yeah.
always. Maybe a couple a dollar here or there, but choice wise, instead of getting the box of Eggos for your kids, instead, because let's think about this. When you think about a balanced a balanced breakfast, what do you think that looks like? Like,
I would
if you're running
say
out the door, and you
running
need
out
to
the
grab
door.
something for
If I'm
breakfast.
running out the door, it's definitely not going to be balanced. Maybe like a granola bar and an apple.
Okay.
But honestly, in a water bottle, that's probably the best I could do.
Perfect. Now, what does that granola bar look like, though? That's the question. The apple, perfect. The bottled water, perfect. What is the granola bar? Is it a a sweet and salty kind? Is it just a
No,
regular
it's one of those
granola?
fruit. It's one of those fruit bars, really.
Okay,
It's
so
just
that's
like kind of granola-y outside with like a berry jam in the inside.
those are the worst kinds, because
Yeah,
that's high fructose
sugar,
corn syrups,
sugar,
and
sugar, sugar.
each one of those runs about 220 calories a pop. So you did great with the water and the apple, but instead of the granola bar, get a banana. Because there's another simple sugar. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, I
Yeah.
could do like a banana in a smoothie, like where
Again,
ice, maybe some skim milk, and then throw in the banana.
see, that's
Maybe
what
like a chocolate protein powder. Then I'm out the door.
absolutely. So it's
And
one of
throw a
those
little
things.
spinach.
Yeah, there you go. So it's one of those things that when people don't feel like they have a sense of time, or when they're in a hurry that they need to grab and go, the whole using their phone to like pre-order something seems so much more convenient, even though it's prices have gone up because of these convenient fees.
Right.
Like we just spent $3.65 on coffee today, and we got an $85 Keurigs at the crib, but yet we got to go buy coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so that again, what are you really paying for? Are you paying for the convenience of food, or are you going to pay for the nutrient side of food? So there's the real question that I don't think people really are wanting to look at, because yes, I get it. You only have an hour to eat lunch. You didn't bring your lunch, so you got to go grab something and pick it up and come back, eat it there, eat it on the car. It is what it is. It's one of those things. But how much are we willing to sacrifice making our lunch for 10 minutes in the morning or 10 minutes at night? And so when we leave to go to work, all we got to do is just put it in a lunchbox kind of thing. Like, where can we cut 10 minutes out of our night or in the morning to make sure that our health doesn't fall behind our lack of laziness is essentially what it is. If I want to make sure I can run out the door, and if I get late, guess what? My sandwich is already pre-made, or my spinach wrap is already pre-made. I love chips. Love chips. Absolutely love chips. It was one of the
USA, love it.
It was the hardest thing I ever had to give up with chips.
I know.
Sucks. I found these veggie straws. I can eat 45 veggie straws for 130 calories, compared to where if I eat 8 Doritos, my ass turns into a bubbling flubber kind of thing. That's the nutrient value. You eat 12 Doritos for 180 calories, but if I eat 54 veggie straws, I'm only eating 90 calories kind of thing.
I feel like I want to do, like, at some point a chip challenge where we do like a nutrition episode, and we each bring like, okay, what chip are we bringing, and who can I'm sure you would win, but like who can bring in like the best concoction or type of chip to the table? Because like I've been on a recent kick of looking for, especially in like the Whole Foods aisle, like just seeing what other types of quote unquote chips there are, because I know how bad chips are for you, but yet some of them I'm like, ooh, I just need a chip. And I found these ones that are like gluten-free, dairy-free, everything fun-free, but they taste amazing. They don't taste like cardboard, and they have a specific spice on them. I forget what it is that is traditionally associated with Indian food, but it's an anti-inflammatory.
Right.
And then I had these little crackers, and I was like, new favorite. And then I found some sweet potato ones with like bits of like, I think it's like flaxseed in them and stuff. I'm like,
right.
I'm like making all better chip choices. At least I'm trying to, because I'm not ready to give up chips entirely. I'm just not ready. I can't. Don't take away my chips. I'm not doing it.
I think it's one of those things, we as people, when we eat a chip, the most enjoyable sound in the world is that crunch. And that crunch kind of like it brings you back to that Saturday morning of watching cartoons, eating a whole bag of chips or whatever kind of thing. And it's one of those things. Like Lay's used to have that commercial where you can't eat just one. Y'all remember that? You can't eat one chip. And now
was that Lay's or was that Pringles?
No, it was Lay's. It was Lay's. Can't eat just one. Pringles was something with a pop or something like that. But no,
they were all so good.
Exactly. But it's that initial crunch that kind of just clicks, and you're just like, I'm gonna eat the whole damn bag. And guess what? You ate $5 worth of chips now. is what it is. A whole bag of chips is
So
worth
terrible.
$5, and you know it's full of air and all that stuff that everybody says. But if you
Nothing
don't put
good.
if you don't have that air, guess what? Those chips actually, I hate to say it, but those chips actually get nasty and disgusting. I saw an episode on National Geographic one time.
Oh wait,
No,
no,
Discovery Channel.
No, I don't want to
Okay.
hear this. If you're gonna spoil chips forever for me,
Okay.
I don't know
Well,
that I can handle that.
And
I'm
for
not
those
prepared.
wanting to know, it was on the History Channel of how things are made. Go watch on how chips are made. It's actually pretty cool, but it also shows you how like what happens if they don't add the air to the bag. So I won't ruin it for Shiny. If you guys want to go check it out, it's on the History Channels. It's actually pretty cool to see
Me and
how
chips. Me and chips. I'm telling you.
So
With a nice good pico de gallo or
there you go.
salsa. I mean,
There's a few things that I can't give up. Chips and queso. That's probably the near dear to my heart. You know, being a native Texan, I feel like it's in my blood. And if I ever give up chips and salsa, you guys might have to
chili bean cheese dip.
Right, call the mental institution and submit me into that, because if I stop eating chips and queso, it's going to be a bad deal for me. So
can we do that? Can we organize like a chip challenge night? Like we all bring like our favorite chip and dip, and we just compare notes on how bad is it?
Yeah, I'm down.
I want a food edition.
Food edition.
Yeah.
What I'm going to start doing this episodes of Cooking with H-Town, and just start providing how to cook. Like so tonight, just my dinner, I had a breakfast sandwich. I had 2 breakfast sandwiches. There's these wheat thins that I get at HEB. They're 100 calories per sandwich. So it's a top and a bottom. But if you get 1 slice of normal bread, it's 100 calories. So instead of 4 slices of bread at 400 calories, I got 2 sandwiches for half that. And I made egg whites with turkey sausage and pepper jack cheese with jalapenos and turkey bacon.
Wow.
Both sandwiches combined were less than 650 calories.
Holy smokes.
Yep. And I'm full, and I probably won't eat until tomorrow around noon. So
wow.
Yeah, and that's with butter. I can't believe it's not butter where there's no calories in that. So you can eat a full-size dinner and eat less than 1,000 calories and still be full for a period of time to where. So I do what is called fasting, where I don't eat for a certain period of time, and then I try to intake all of my calories all at once. Sometimes, people.
Does that work? I mean, I would think you wouldn't want to do that just because for the average bear, if you don't burn it, then it's just for somebody like me, it's just going to go sit on my hips, and then I'm going to have to work to remove it. Like if I tried to eat all my calories in one fell swoop.
Well, so your body doesn't care when it intakes your calories. It doesn't care. Your body is going to produce it how it's supposed to produce it, regardless if it's 8 o'clock in the morning, regardless if it's noon, regardless if it's midnight. Your body works off of a clock, works off of a system. So, the way that if you're a male and you want to get to an X amount of weight, you take your weight, that's your goal, you times it by 12. That's your caloric intake for the day. If you're a female, it's whatever your goal is times 10. So if you want to be, 150 pounds and times that by 10, your intake for the day is 1,500 calories.
Oh, kill me then. God. I can't do that. I can't live on that.
Well,
I mean, obviously I can. It's just.
But that's it. I mean, again, that's the normal take. But if you're a male and you want to get down to, 180 and you times it by, you times it by 12, then it's, what is it? 180. So 2,600 calories or something like that. I think is what it is.
Where do you guys get all the calories? It's not fair.
Because males, their heart beats faster and there's more muscular. And so there's more, the body of the male, not because we're better, it's because we're more active, more sense, bigger ventricles, bigger muscles. It takes more oxygen and it takes more blood to pump through our said organs compared to females, because typically females are smaller in stature, smaller in torso, smaller in chest, smaller in biceps and forearms and things of that nature. So it's a more body mass than it is a body weight. You could be, I mean, I'm 5'8" and I'm 225, but my body mass index, my BMI says I'm overweight by 25%, but I'm pretty healthy. And I mean, I could probably lose 10, 15 pounds and still be okay. But my body mass index says I'm overweight and I'm almost obese. The BMI is one of those scales that doesn't really, it doesn't help you in a sense if that's what you're really looking at, unfortunately. So
I do have a question for you.
go shoot.
Hold on, let me find what I'm looking for. So, I'm tracking, I have a Fitbit and
Yeah.
I'm tracking various things. But one of the things it's always asking me is what's my percentage body fat? And I'm like, how do I calculate that? How do I know? Is there an easy way to do that?
So essentially calculating it is not the easy part, but I can tell you where you're supposed to be. If you're,
But how would you ever know? Like, how do you?
It's one of those math equations that you got to figure out. Like if you're 5'3" and your health body weight, your BMI should be at like 18%, and you should be at like 30% body fat kind of thing. Like if you're 5'8", you should be at like 110 pounds as a female or something like, or what is it? It's for females at 5'8", you're supposed to be like 140 pounds. But if I'm a male at 5'8", I'm supposed to be like 160 pounds to be healthy. How does that equivalent?
That makes no sense. If I'm
Exactly.
140 at 5'8", I look like skeletal. Like, it doesn't look healthy on me.
Right. Well, Mrs. H Town is 5'9", and she's about 140, 145. But again, she was a college athlete. She's thick in the hips, thighs, and strong back and everything. I'm 5'8", and I look like a storage fridge.
See, I'm nearly 5'9", and I'm just like, you know what? To me, I'm looking for like 150, 155. And to me, even that, I'm like, I think I'm probably I'd be happier closer to 155.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm not beating myself up about it. I'll get there slowly but surely.
Of course. But like I said, I think the body mass index is one of those things that people can look at, and it's a very fast way to get discouraged about what they're trying to do with their life. And I will say this: if you're trying to lose weight, don't let the results on the scale determine your overall fitness. I promise you, it's the worst thing you're doing is chasing a little number that you're going to be miserable about. More so,
I want that number.
Chase the feeling. Because there's days where I felt like shit. I felt terrible. I felt bloated. I felt this, and it was some of the days I've actually been the lightest I've been. But then there's days I feel super skinny, and I get on, and I'm like, whoa, where did that number come from? That's not me. Who's this guy? Kind of thing. So the feeling of waking up and feeling good, but still adding 2 or 3 pounds to what you were the day before. Your body is a machine that works on its own time scale. Right? Exactly. And so some days you'll carry more water than the other day. Some days you're going to sweat more than others. Some days you're going to have a really good workout and your muscles are going to carry more water in them and carry more oxygen in them than some other days. And so, my favorite thing to tell everybody, if you want to get healthy and you want to get fit, take your ass outside and go walk. That's the easiest thing you can do. Go walk for 20 minutes. Go walk for 30 minutes. Don't walk for miles. Don't walk for distance. Walk for time. Your heart, it's called a VO2 max. Your body has to reach your heart rate has to reach a certain heart rate in order for it to burn fat versus to burn cardio. It's easier to burn fat than it is to get into a cardio set, because all you got to do, if your body gets up to like, I think it's 114. If your body gets up to 114, it starts burning a certain caloric intake, it's certain this, certain that. And that's where you need to be targeting. That's why it's called a target heart rate. So if you get on a treadmill and you set up at an incline and your heart rate gets to about 80, 90, 100, not bad. If your body gets into 140 heartbeats a minute, then you need to go to the hospital. That's bad.
What was that number?
140, 150, you might be dying.
Okay, so just so you know, I had supraventricular tachycardia.
Okay.
At my peak, I rolled in at 215.
Jesus.
Yeah, let me tell you, there's no scarier feeling than when your heart's doing 215, because like literally your whole body's pumping with your heart.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's
bad. It's bad.
Very dangerous.
So they go in and they do the surgery and they use this microwave technology, I think that they said, where they thread wires through, right? And they tap on the nerve endings of the heart to find the faulty ones, and then they zap it. They essentially kill it.
Yep.
But what I've found now is when I work out, it's much harder for me to sustain the higher heart rate. Because as soon as I stop working out, it's like immediate. Like there's no like slow mo
There's no
decline. It's
there's no
just like
decline.
high and then phoom, it just drops.
Right.
But today's workout, so just kind of looking at the peak. So the peak we topped out at 138, and that was, not for a sustained 138. That was just a high peak and then started dropping back down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I would say, it tells you that most of the exercise was in the fat burn zone because my resting heart rate is 57.
That's good. You want
So I
your
mean,
you want your
and
resting
I'm not
heart
an
rate to be under
athlete.
6. Well, you want your resting heart rate to be under 60 beats a minute. That's when you know that's a healthy number to go for. So if you're in the 60s or the 70s, it's not great. But if you're in the 80s, now you really need to start seeing a doctor, because that's my profession does not go into that. But I do know if your heart rate is in the 70s and 80s, you might need to go get a physical. You might need to go see your provider and see what you need to be doing to get that heart rate down, because the average male heart rate is about 64 to 67. The average female heart rate is at 61 to 62, 63. Doesn't seem like a lot, but over time it adds up. You're not talking beats per hour or beats per day. You're talking beats per minute. And there's 60 minutes in the day, 24 hours in the day. That's a huge number where a female's heart will beat thousands of times less than a male's heart in a day. So that's why I'm saying the males pump and burn more calories, because the heart typically works more on a male perspective than it does on the female perspective. Because the male, yeah, okay, you're only beating me by one beat per minute. But again, you times that by 60, then you times that by 24, then you times that for 30 years. That's what people don't understand. I was like, oh, my heart rate's just a little bit lower. Yeah, but my heart's working double the time over an 8-hour process or a 12-hour process or a 24-hour process. And that's why women live longer, is because their heart's not working as hard as a male's heart is. And that's my joke of the day, is women don't work as hard as male do. At least their body shows that anyway. So that's my joke. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but that's a health. That's a health. That's a health. That's a health joke. Okay, that's a health joke.
So. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Did you want to take on any of the stuff that Nico's putting on in chat? I don't know if you can see it, but
I don't see what Nico's putting, but yeah, fire away.
Okay, so let me just go scroll back up through some of the stuff he said. So he is a diabetic, and he was saying how here's the biggest mind cluster that I learned, that insulin produces leaner muscle mass as a diabetic, I could dose my insulin while working out near the end of the workout and then eat directly afterwards and able to sustain a higher weight with a leaner mass. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that makes any sense to you.
And so diabetics are a special breed, they typically have to watch what they intake in their body. Now, I'm assuming he's probably a type 2 diabetic. Type 1 is the more severe one, I believe. I could be mixed up on that one.
Nico, do you want to share? You may have told me, but I don't recall, and I don't want to mess it up.
Either way, one of the two is one significantly worse than the other. But the way that diabetics, and I've dealt with some diabetics, I'm not diabetic. Neither are my family members. I've luckily enough, I'm not there, but I know some diabetics, certain things work better for them. It's not just being a diabetic and here's the one tip and one trick that will help you. It's depending on his size. It's depending on his weight. It's depending on, how hard his heart is working, how hard his body is working, and what kind of nutrients he's putting into his body. That's always the tough part when you start adding incentives that your body has to overcome. Being a diabetic is one of the toughest things in the world to do when you don't have control over what your body does and doesn't need, kind of thing. And so, I can only imagine what he goes through, but if it works for him, then it works for him. There's no clear-cut way to be healthy. And that's kind of the beautiful thing about people in general and their bodies in general, is if it works for me, but it doesn't work for Big J, he might say, all right, it doesn't work, what else can we do? And that's where my profession comes in, where I'm knowledgeable about, well, let's try something different. But
Right.
what doesn't work for Big J might still work for you, Shiny. And so again, it's how your body responds to these things. And typically whenever you're working out, your body will get accustomed to these workouts after 4 to 6 weeks. You know,
Hmm.
it takes 4 weeks for you to notice your body's changing. It takes 6 to 8 weeks for other people to notice that your body's changing, because you see yourself every day.
Yeah.
You see the results. But when somebody doesn't see you every day, or when somebody doesn't see you for a month on end, 10 pounds, you put on 10 pounds before Christmas or after Christmas, and you come back to work and they're like, damn, you got big. Well, thanks, asshole. I, appreciate that, whatever. But to you, you're like, all right, I feel like a beach whale right now, and then everybody else sees it. Okay, that doesn't make me feel very good about myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
But like being a diabetic is one of the most overwhelming challenges that people have to deal with in general, when it comes to the fitness side, because I think a lot of people out there don't understand, and there's things that I don't understand as well too. I mean, I have a specialization in nutrition, but what I've learned more so is how to accommodate people more so than, all right, there's no cookie cutter way to eat healthy. There's no cookie cutter way to lose weight. The cool thing is we can all essentially learn and grow, because everybody's body is different. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
the fact that I'm able to spread awareness, and essentially the best way to gain a nutrient mindset is to experiment what works best for you. I'm just letting you know, here's the tips, here's the tricks to finding a better way to make nutrients easier, more obtainable, and more cost efficient. Because, I mean, trust me, don't let the whole foods and the organic stuff fool you. Yeah, it might sound cool and everything, but now you are paying for. There's nothing different between a regular banana and an organic banana,
Yeah.
maybe other than pesticides or whatever. Cool. But they spray on the outside of the banana, not the inside of it. That's my take on that.
Fair enough.
I know,
He
but it still
also
absorbs whatever. So
he also wrote he gets insured because of the vitamins, the protein content, and two of those you get nearly 90% of everything you need in a
right,
day. So
right.
while working out, then Ensure is actually significantly better than the muscle milk.
So again, protein is one of the most essential vitamins and minerals that you can put in your body. Your body works off of your proteins, it works off of your carbs. Essentially, if you have more carbs in your system, it wants to burn the good calories. So if you put junk in like cookies and chips and things like that, typically your body stores that as fat. Okay, so that's what stays in your system longer. But whenever you instill your body with the vitamins and nutrients that you want to have good carbs and you want to have your simple sugars burned, when you start instilling that, now you're using good fuel. It's like is we would love to afford to put premium gas in our tank, right? If we
Yeah.
put premium gas in our tank, our car is going to run longer, it's going to run more efficiently, but it costs an extra amount. So instead, we go with the unleaded, and it's okay. It does its job, and it's at a decent amount. It's at a decent cost. We can afford that, but we can't all afford to live at a premium level. However, our bodies need to run at a premium level, because if we continue to put unleaded stuff in our system, our body is not going to respond to it. So if I eat
Mhm.
cookies and cakes and sugars and
But I love
whatever,
them so much.
I know, but if we continue to fill our tank with those items, our gas efficiency level is going to go down instead of up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if we go at
I
a
feel
medium,
that.
there's unleaded, and then the premium. What's the one in the middle? Oh, like what's the
Uh, I should know because I get that one.
it's whatever the
Whatever
middle.
that middle one is.
But again, it's always nice to have that accommodation and to that moderation. If we can kind of be on every level at a set time, again, understanding how important greens are, how understanding how important vitamins are, how important are proteins and carbs and sugars and
Yeah.
things like that. If we understand those things, eating healthy and being healthy is actually very simple. It doesn't have to be this some guru type stuff. I mean, I don't drink coffee, but I know some people drink coffee in the morning to get their body moving in the morning, and we'll just say that without getting too much in depth with it. But
Yeah.
for some people, it's their Kickstarter. I don't drink coffee. I drink this little pre-mix in the morning, and it gets my body up, it gets my body moving, and that's what I use. Essentially finding something that helps your digestive system. You can eat properly, but if you don't have a proper digestive system, then then your body's always going to keep those bad fuels in it. Now, as we get older, there's that old saying of, my metabolism has slowed down. It's not what it used to be. Well, as you get older, you're not as active, and it's not your metabolism, it's your activity level. So if you increase your activity level, your metabolism will kick back up. And it's like the same thing. It's the same thing as males get older. They say the testosterone levels in males, once they get to 36 or 37, it significantly decreases. Right?
Does it?
Well, I'm not there yet, so I'm not.
Well, no, I'm not saying you personally, but I'm saying like in the
I
general scheme of things, is that accepted? Is that
I believe that's
true?
something that, I mean, you talk about. I'm not trying to. I mean, I don't think we have too many kids in the audience, but as you get older, your sex drive typically goes down. But those individuals who are healthy, who work out, who continue to eat healthier, their sex drive is significantly better. Their desiring is more better. Their testosterone level is higher. Their libido is higher. So eating healthier typically leads into a better lifestyle and essentially helps you perform better in the bedroom. I mean, we're getting into the nitty gritty side of the nutrient value, but having that metabolism factor into your everyday lifestyle is a huge asset to be able to, again, mentally perform better, to mentally wake up and want to go to work, having the mindset to want to go work out, eat healthier. I mean, just the eating aspect, the nutrition aspect, as well as the exercise aspect, ultimately it makes your body significantly better within a 3 to 4 week process. And I think if people realize the benefits that even going outside and walking for 20 minutes, you can get a mile walk in about 15 minutes on average. That's about average. And so if you walk for 30 minutes, that's 2 miles. That's an additional 6,000 to 8,000 steps per day by taking 30 minutes out of your day after work, during your lunch break, after dinner, or whatever. Typically, what do you do after you eat dinner? You sit down and you don't do anything, right? And so that you just feel like it's just, you know what I mean? Like you can feel your pizza that you had for dinner just sit on your face. You're just like,
Yeah.
Whatever. But if you get up and go walk for 20, 30 minutes after that, that's what speeds up your metabolism instead of just sitting down and rewatching 30 episodes of Big Bang Theory.
Oh, but it's such a great show.
It's Bazinga, right? Bazinga. And so if we as individuals make the small changes in our life, and the small changes are 10, 20, 30-minute time frames in our daily life choices, out of 24, I can substitute 30 minutes of health and decision making for an episode of Big Bang Theory. I can make that choice. I can make that sacrifice. So that's where other people need to be seeing, what kind of sacrifices that they can make just for the little parts in your healthy lifestyle, because it doesn't take a whole lot to get healthy. It really doesn't. Waking up 20 minutes earlier, 30 minutes earlier, making your lunch compared to buying your lunch every day. You know what I mean? You're also going to save significant amount of money when you're putting your lunch together versus going and eating fast food 6 to 8 times a week. Setting out chicken and putting it in the refrigerator versus going to Popeyes and getting a 12 count. You know what I mean? Because typically, here's the thing. Once you set something out and you thaw it out, how obligated are you to cook it?
Pretty obligated.
Absolutely. I set out frozen chicken and I'm like, all right, do I really want to eat chicken? It's already thawed out. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and cook it.
Yeah.
I feel better about my decision. And I saved $15.
Yeah.
Me and Mrs. H were like, pizza sounds pretty good tonight. Yeah, but I was thinking some breakfast. And I could eat 2 or 3 slices of pizza and have the same caloric intake as it took me to make my dinner in 8 minutes, kind of thing. And so, and I think, again, I know everybody's different. I know people have their own obstacles to go through, but if this one podcast can help one person make better choices in their lifestyle, then you know what? I'm happy to be here. I'm glad that you guys invited me on and everything. And like I said, it really can be easy. It really doesn't have to be hard. And I think we make it hard because we hear other people talk about how hard it is when really,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's hard. It's just a lack of commitment for some people. And maybe this might be a wake up
Damn.
call for some people. I mean, I have a few people on my channel that are watching me. I can only imagine how many people are watching on the Two Lit Supports. I can't pull it up because then my stream would crash with
Yeah.
as much that's going. It's trying to get pulled from Google Chrome and Twitch and OBS and things of that nature. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, like I said, I think there's a lot of simple things that you can do to betterment your life and your lifestyle and your choices and things of that nature.
Agreed.
I agree with that.
I mean, this is my fifth cup of water today,
Oh
and
my
this thing is 22 ounces. So, so I've essentially drank more than 100 ounces of water today, and it flushes my system. So like I said, I think if you can betterment those little things, your digestive system, the beneficial factors and everything are they're tremendous. They outweigh the negative sides of things every single day of the week and twice on Sundays.
Well, you have certainly shared a boatload of information this evening. I mean, I don't have any other questions. I mean, I know where to find you. I mean, are you open to people popping up in your DMs and being like,
Absolutely.
"Hey, what do you think about blah blah blah?" Or
Absolutely. And so one more quick thing. I also did some motivational speaking when I was a little bit younger.
Mhm.
I helped kids, kind of find that way into college or want to find a trade route or whatever.
Okay.
My Twitter is called The Coach LaCroix. My H Town Shutdown is my Twitch name, but The Coach LaCroix is where I have my DMs are open to anybody and everybody, not just athletes, not just coaches, but people. I've helped a lot of people on their fitness journey, and I've also had more people where if they're following me and I follow them, people typically who work together and have goals together typically carry out those goals. It's always hard to do something by yourself, but when you have somebody motivating you and pushing you, and if I have to be the rabbit of the group and people are following me kind of thing, then so be it. I've done it before. I'm pretty sure I'll continue to do that in my career, but I have people that I'm chasing after that I want to follow, that I want to make myself better. There's a saying in college sports: don't be the smartest person in the room. Always be willing to learn. Always be willing to accept changes and grow as a person and grow as
I
a
love
coach.
that.
You know what I'm saying? And so what I've learned in my career, I've learned and taken it into my lifestyle and my health and helping other people's healthy nutrition factors and things of that nature. So if I can make one person's life better today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, then by all means, I've conquered many goals in my career and in my life, and so when my time comes, I know that at the end of the day, I've helped people and I'm cool with that. And I'm not looking for any money. I'm not looking for any, only thing I ever care about is, people's thanks. If somebody tells me, thank you for helping, hey, perfect. I'm doing my job. I love what I do. And if I didn't love it, I wouldn't be here with you guys right now. I would have told Big J to go kick rocks for asking me to be on this this is kind of a last second thing. It really was. Me and Mrs. H Town have been busting our butt all day with our job and everything. And you know what? I made time for this because I wanted to share what I knew and I wanted to be able to help people out and everything. So I'm very excited for the opportunity. If we do this once a month or whatever Big J decides to do, perfect. I can't wait to do it. And if I can give more health tips and tricks, and like I said, The Coach LaCroix on Twitter, if anybody wants to follow me and just any personal questions or anything I can help with, please, I would love to meet new people and help new people out. Cause that's my job, is to essentially help
people. And I want this chip challenge in the worst way.
Oh goodness.
All right, so can we post something in the Discord and maybe hype it up a little bit?
We got to come up with a date and time for El Chipo Challenge.
Okay. Something
that
during
sounds,
something
that
during the
sounds like
week,
a
so I
weekend.
can.
A week?
Uh,
Okay.
for me, I don't have time. I'm gone on the weekends. Like I'm heading to Houston this weekend to go recruiting, and
Right.
I know I live on the road on the weekends, and so it's always tough to when we travel so much to like want to eat healthy and things like that. So me and Mrs. H, instead of spending $20, $25 at Whataburger, we go to HEB and get those little chips and the little crackers with the meat and fruit and stuff in it. We spend a little bit more, but we don't have time to cook, so we're willing to spend a little bit more to eat a little healthier on that instead of
Fair.
$7 shakes and, and malts and everything. So
Yeah.
because it's easy just to let me go ahead and get a large strawberry shake.
Oh, I love strawberry
And
shakes.
it's so damn hot outside, you lose weight after just walking half a mile anyway. So
Facts.
So have the strawberry shake.
in moderation, yes, ma'am. Get the medium instead of the large. Moderation.
I just get whatever size they have and then drink half of it and throw the other half out. And don't. I know it's a complete waste of money, but in my head, I'm like, okay, well, if you are going to waste calories on a milkshake, then you're also going to waste the money and have to live with that.
Hey,
It's two punishments in one.
Yeah,
sort of.
I'd rather take the one punishment and just work it off on the back end. Where you know what? If you're willing to waste money, I gladly take donations. Me and Mrs. H just got married, so anybody wants to donate to our bills and our rent, we gladly accept all PayPal accounts. Coach LaCroix at Coach LaCroix on PayPal.
Nice, very nice.
Subs, we accept subs and bits, and I got a car payment here in about 3 days. So yeah, hey, here we go. So
the grocery bills, so phone bills, yeah. I feel
no, we got the grocery bill figured out because, like I said, we eat where we are on a budget. We go to the grocery store, only drop about $30-$40 every time we go. We don't spend $300 on food. We don't because what's going to end up happening is you waste it. You buy all these vegetables and fruits, they go bad after a week, and you throw it all away. So. And we only live a mile away from the HEB anyway, so if we need to go get something, we go get something, and we don't ever have to waste food and throw it away. So that's a money saver right there. Quit buying $400 worth of groceries. You're actually wasting more food than you are saving. Honestly, I tell people that all the time.
That's amazing. That's incredible.
It really
is.
People spend $300 on groceries, and half of that cart gets thrown away because it goes bad. Or they don't eat it all, kind of thing. So
wow.
You'll be surprised what kids will eat when there's not very many things in the cupboard. Like they'll eat what they want, and then whenever there's less options, they won't eat it and they throw it away. So
yeah.
The more you know. The more you know. So, but guys, thank y'all so much for having me. I really appreciate coming out, Big J. Thank you so much for allowing me to come in and share my knowledge and share with the community and like I said, I'm excited to do this again, in the future. And if we want to, part 2 kind of thing, we can break things down a little bit more, or we can take a different venture route. But I'm very excited. I appreciate y'all's time and everything. So, I guess that's me signing out. So,
and I love the food version coming. Perfect. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. We're coming to that. We're gonna come to you live with food.
To a new, healthier life.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Awesome. We rating out who we on our Two Lit Supports page?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Any suggestions?
Let's see who's up. Who's up in Adam right now? I see Sailor Cat on Phasmo. I love me some Phasmo so much.
Okay.
Why don't we do that?
Okay. I'm down.
Why don't we go visit our friend Miss Sailor Cat Bat? You gonna set it up?
You could try because I know you are an editor as well. I made all the admin editors, so you should be able to give it a swing and see if it works. If it don't, then I'll do it.
Sailor Cat Bat, right? Did I spell it right? Just want to double check. Sailor Cat Bat. I don't know if that. Oh yeah, it looks like it went. 3 viewers, 6 seconds, 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1. raid now. Later, guys. Thank you for coming. All right, let's shut down the live broadcast. I'll see you over at Sailors.
Okay.
Goodbye. Let's see.